Look at it. Look at this. Take a look. That's Henry walking to the pool. We've got it. We've got it. Look at that. Look at it. He jumped into the pool. Look at that. So you see Henry jumped into the pool of water and he's swimming. He could swim. We're seeing it here. We have the footage, okay? Henry is swimming, yes.
Okay.
Henry is swimming.
All right.
So he could swim.
Yes, hold on. All right. Later.
We have the footage here. Henry is swimming in the pool, okay?
That's what we're looking for. That's the most important thing.
He is swimming. Let us see what happens when he gets back. You can see him swimming in the pool. So whether he could swim is not the question, because he is swimming. All right? Whether Henry could swim is not the question, because he is swimming. Okay? He could swim. We could see him swimming. And this is just to help his daughter and his family to get closure. All right?
Yeah.
He could swim, he is swimming. You saw that he jumped into the pool.
Huh?
And I'm going to show the police the footage.
I find footage he's swimming in the pool. You guys looking at that promoted just now.
All right? You could see him swimming. That's at 9:53. Timestamp 9:53. 21:53 hours. He is swimming. Okay, so he went to the end of the pool.
Yeah. Yeah, we're looking at it right now because I want to go back up front.
So let's quickly address how the death of Henry Gardner on the bottom of that swimming pool in Linden today has proven once again that Adriana did not drown in that pool. Now, first of all, 67-year-old Henry Gardner can be seen walking towards the pool, jumping in, swimming towards the deep end. That's all we see until the next CCTV. We see him dead on the bottom of the pool. Now, we didn't get to watch the rest of the footage because the police showed up and shut it down. However, we did get to see a close-up of his body when it came out of the pool. We also got to see the way he was laying on the bottom of the pool. So he was laying flat on the bottom of the pool. His arms were up in rigor and he was just laying flat on the bottom of the pool. He hadn't yet rose to the surface. Now, we know he went in at 9:53 last night, which would lead us to believe he'd been in the pool for 12 hours. And yet he was still laying flat on the bottom of the pool. No bloating, no nothing. When he got out of the pool, his body was still in the rigor, still hands up kind of position, body flat. He had wrinkling to his skin all over, his stomach, his arms. It was very clear to see the wrinkling from being in the water so long. Adriana didn't have any of that. He had no discoloration to the face. Adriana did. He had no bumps to his head. Adriana did. He had no skin slippage on the arms or patches of skin missing. Adriana did. He had no injuries to the knees. Adriana did. So all of the injuries they're telling us comes from just an average drowning. We're now seeing Henry doesn't have any of those things. Apart from his arms being raised and stuck out quite clearly, he looked quite peaceful. However, he did have the foam to the nose and to the mouth. However, it looked nothing like the cotton wool that was in Adriana's nose. He had like stringy type of foam that looked almost like snot, and his mouth had some foam. She did not have any of those things. She also had what looked like an actual foreign object, meaning cotton wool up her nose. It was completely different. Let's also pay particular attention to the fact his arms were stiff up by his side, meaning rigor had set in after just 12 hours, yet we're expected to believe that Adriana was in the pool for 20 hours, yet her legs easily flopped over the side of the pool when she was brought out. When she was taken into the car park to avoid the fire, her nan managed to easily move her head, her gran. There was no kind of like clickiness or anything like that to the neck. So it would lead us to believe that Adriana had only been in the water for a really short amount of time, whereas Henry, we know, had been in there the full 12 hours, and his body is completely different. So Henry has proven once again that Adriana did not drown in that pool.
Look at it. Look at this. Take a look. That's Henry walking to the pool. We've got it. We've got it. Look at that. Look at it. He jumped into the pool. Look at that. So you see Henry jumped into the pool of water and he's swimming. He could swim. We're seeing it here. We have the footage, okay? Henry's swimming, yes.
Okay.
Henry is swimming.
All right.
So he could swim.
Yes, hold on. All right. Later.
We have the footage here. Henry is swimming in the pool, okay?
That's what we're looking for. That's the most important thing.
He is swimming. Let us see what happens when you get back. You can see him swimming in the pool. So whether he could swim is not the question, because he is swimming. All right? Whether Henry could swim is not the question, because he is swimming. Okay? He could swim. We could see him swimming. And this is just to help his daughter and his family to get closure. All right?
Yeah.
He could swim, he is swimming. You saw that he jumped into the pool.
Huh?
And I'm going to show the police the footage.
I find footage he's swimming in the pool. You guys looking at that promoted just now.
All right? You could see him swimming. That's at 9:53. Timestamp 9:53. 21:53 hours. He is swimming. Okay, so he went to the end of the pool.
Yeah. Yeah, we're looking at it right now because I want to go back up front.
That's what's Blackout TV Live. I'm witnessing a kind of little accident. A man drowned at a two-corn mall, Mayor's Ward, this morning, Tuesday morning. And the guy's still in the pool. We're waiting for the police. Well, the relatives are already here, so we're waiting for the police to do the investigation so we can know what's going on. But it seems now that we're claiming that the guy is drunk, and we're here at a Mayor's Ward, Tukon Mall, poolside. Talk out.
Another drowning has occurred in Guyana, and the reasoning it is garnering so much attention right now is because of the similarities to the Adriana Younge case. If you see me looking down, it's because I've taken notes on my laptop. A lot has happened, so I want to be as accurate as I possibly can. The body of a maintenance man was found in a pool in Amelia Ward's Linden. The man was 67 years old, and he worked at the mall. It is said that he has suffered some sort of medical emergency. There was surveillance that caught him going to the pool just before 10 p.m. on Monday night, and his body was discovered sometime this morning, so he was in the pool for approximately 10 hours. Now, I'm just going to read you some of the key differences between the two cases. Some of the key differences between the Adriana Younge drowning and the Henry Gardner drowning are, one, that there were cameras in this pool and they were actively working. So Adriana Younge Doubleday Hotel, there were cameras there, but reportedly they weren't working. So because there was working cameras there is surveillance video of Henry swimming from one end to the pool, and just as he was about to come, he swam almost the entire way back to the other end, but just as he was about to get up out of the pool, he suffered some sort of medical emergency and he ended up drowning. Another key difference is that Henry Gardner's body was clearly visible from the pool, from the bottom of the pool where he sank. And another key similarity is that the pools were of similar depths. So the pool at the Doubleday Hotel had depths, varying depths from, I believe, 3 feet all the way up to 8 feet. And this was the same sort of thing at this facility. One key difference was rigor mortis had already set in with Henry Gardner, and rigor mortis usually takes anywhere from 2 to 8 hours to fully set in, starting in the face and then traveling down to the rest of the body. The whole process takes maybe like 24 hours. With Adriana Younge, it didn't look as if her body was as stiff as we see the body for Henry Gardner. Another major difference is Adriana had marks about her body from the forearms, the knees, across her forehead that were reportedly due to chlorine in the water. That's what was reported. Henry Gardner did not have any of those marks about his body. That might be due to the amount of time. Adriana was missing for approximately 20 hours. Gardner had been in that pool for about 10. So that might have something to do with it. The thing that jumps out the most to me about these two cases is the fact that Henry Gardner's body was clearly visible from the bottom of that pool. Now, some people are saying, hey, the water in that pool was a lot clearer than the water at the Doubleday Hotel. However, my contention is this child was a fairly tall child. If you look at pictures of her and her parents, she's about the same height as them. She wasn't a speck. Despite the fact that the pool at the Doubleday Hotel might have been mildly cloudy, there's no way that you wouldn't see her body, or at least a shadow of her body, from a similar depth as Henry Gardner's body. So for those of you who are still questioning whether, her body was there or whether it was dumped there, I suggest that you go take a look at the Henry Gardner videos and draw your own conclusions.